everyone, welcome to the Henspeckle podcast, episode 2. My name is Jacqueline.
I'm also Jacqueline, and we're mother and daughter, and we come from a small town just outside Edinburgh.
It's the kind of small town where you open the door, wave a cheery hello to the postman and hope your dog doesn't escape, chase him down the road, and then he'll never deliver parcels. And also he'd be traumatised. Anyway,
on with business.
So, finished objects. Let's start with that.
Yes, let's start with finished objects. Will I go first?
Yes, because
Okay.
you've got 3.
Well, I've got 3. How many have you got?
2.
2. Right, well, I'll start with my first finished object, which is the one I showed last time, which is the wonderful V-necked scarf shown on the Fibre Spider channel. And I've made this in... what's it called?
Shepherd's Warning.
Shepherd's Warning from John Arbon. I've spun it, spun it as a singles yarn, and I crocheted it at, I can't remember. Anyway, this is the hook that I used, and it's a size 5mm, and I got this beautiful hook from Leto Workshop in the Ukraine.
Yeah, they've got an Etsy shop.
They have an Etsy shop, which we'll put down below once we're finished. I have several of their hooks and they're all absolutely wonderful. Couldn't recommend them highly enough. Beautiful. So that's my first finished object. And happily the weather, although it's technically still August, the weather is becoming cooler, so I'll be getting a chance to wear these.
You can actually wear something you've made.
I have had my blue one on. I put the blue one on last week. It was quite cold.
And was the scarf warm?
Oh, it was lovely. It was perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that one.
Oh, now for our next finished object, we both, at the end of the last podcast, I admit I felt quite bad because I hardly had anything to show. So we challenged ourselves and decided to make a sort of smallish project in, I don't know, about a week, maybe 2 weeks maximum. And we both decided on this lovely shawl. It's called the Hitchhiker Shawl, and it's by Martina Behm. I think she's German. Actually, I better not say she's German if she's not. That sounds German.
Was that a paid pattern from
It is
Ravelry?
A paid pattern. Yeah. It's still on Ravelry. And I thoroughly recommend it, especially if you're a beginner knitter like me and you can only do 2 stitches, also like me. This is simplicity itself. I will show you mine.
Can I hold that for you?
Yes, you can. I very, very much like the details here. It's like dragon teeth. That was quite easy to do, although obviously I can't tell you how I did it because of the pattern. But I mean, honestly, if I can do it, anyone can do it. You start off with 1 stitch and then you increase until you end up doing these little teeth at the end of, what was it, every 3 rows? You do a tooth at every 3 rows, I think.
No, I think it's every 5 or 6 rows.
There's 3.
I can't remember. It was just so easy to do.
3 rows.
Was it? No, that's 3 garter stitch ridges. So that's about 6 rows.
Oh, I knew there was 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used for this 4mm Knit Pro Symphony needles, which are, I have to say, they are my favourite needles. They're wooden and I really must put a picture in if I can. But they're very easy to knit with. And the yarn that I used is Rowan Softyak DK. It's a distinctly soft yarn. It's absolutely lovely.
It's lovely and soft.
And it's got nylon, predominantly cotton, and about 15% yak, and it's in this lovely colourway called Steppe, which is a beautiful dusty pink colour. I very much like it, and I don't really have a lot of pink because it's not my go-to colour for myself, so very much looking forward to that when it becomes a bit colder. Now, Mum, you have also done...
I did my one in this. I have a feeling mine isn't as long as yours, but
it's
anyway.
not.
I did mine in this. It's handspun merino and cashmere, and it is so soft. I love it. I do have more of this wool somewhere. I've yet to find out where I've put them. It's an interesting pattern. It's almost knitted on the bias, and then you do your teeth up to a certain point and cast off, and that gives you your other long edge. So it's beautiful. I love this, and it was so easy to do.
Yeah. What are these little white flecks? Is that the cashmere?
That's the cashmere, and it's not really white, it's a beige cashmere. Yeah. It actually came from a friend who lives close by, and she had a herd of cashmere goats. Oh. So I always got my cashmere from her, but unfortunately she has retired. So
no more cashmere for you. No more cashmere.
No, certainly not at that, at that quality. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So that was my one, Martina Behm again. Beautiful. I would do this one again.
Yeah, well, yeah. As you'll see later on, maybe one of us has already started another one.
Yeah, well, good for you. I know it's not me.
No, spoiler, it's me. Right. So our last finished object, and this was an absolute revelation to me, I have to say. I've never ever knitted socks before because, well, they seem absolutely terrifying. So we both I found the pattern. It was the DK vanilla sock pattern by Crazy Sock Lady.
Oh, yes, that one. Mm-hmm.
It looked, well, I've been watching her podcast and she made it sound easy and also fun and sort of beginner friendly, so we decided to do that. First of all, what did we do? We spun the wool.
Spun the yarn. Yeah.
I used pastel colours of superwash merino and did a contrast heel. And what did you do yours from?
This is my one. Which one's a nicer one? This one. I also did superwash merino, but you two-plied. Did you just ply yours together? Two-plied?
Yes, mine is just two-plied. I mean, you can see on there. Yeah. There aren't that many matching stripes, so you won't see pink with pink or green with green at
not
a lot of places. It's sort of variegated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've just plied mine together in the normal way.
Well, I did mine as a chain ply, so you have more control over the striping. It's much more distinct, and I enjoyed doing that. The only thing I didn't like was it's a top down sock, and I never do top down. I always do toe up because I find it much easier to start and also easier to fit, to see what length I want the foot and however long I want the leg. And also you divide your yarn in half so that when you get to the top and your yarn starts to run out, that's it, time to stop. So you know that you've got enough yarn for the other sock to get to the same point. But these were great, I love them. And it's almost sock wearing time.
I know.
Yeah.
And these, because it's a DK one, it knitted up so quickly, and I was extremely encouraged by this. Mm-hmm. And also it was really easy to do, although someone may have done the toe for me.
And the heel.
And possibly the heel. Mm-hmm. But the rest of it was definitely very easy to do. I used the Addi Sock Wonder, and it was a 10-inch needle, and it's 3.25 millimeters, and this is a size medium sock, and the fit is absolutely perfect. It's 48 stitches in total, I think
it's 48, yes.
Yeah. And what about the cuff? That's not quite the same as this Crazy Sock Lady one.
I don't know what.
I'm sure she did a 2-1.
Did she have a 2-1?
Yeah, we did.
2 knit, 1 purl.
Yeah, we did 1-1.
Yes, we just did 1-1. Yeah, it was easy. Well, I didn't. Did I start off on the 9-inch circular?
You did, yes, and you didn't like it.
I don't like them. I cannot get used to 9-inch circulars. So I always work with 2 circular needles, and I used Addi Turbo 3.25. And these are my favourites. No, not true. My new favourite is...
Here we go.
I can't remember who makes them.
I think it's Knit Pro.
Knit Pro Cubics. Oh, they are absolutely wonderful to use. I love them.
But what's so good about them?
I don't know. They're just nice to hold, and I think your stitches are much nicer tensioned with them. I think the whole fabric is smoother.
And
so,
are you missing out the glaring fact here that they're square?
They're
shape.
Yeah, they're square.
You
in
didn't
shape.
mention that.
Did I not? Well, cubics.
The people want to know.
Yeah. Okay. Cubics, square needle.
Okay then.
Right.
So that's the finished objects.
That's finished objects.
I'm quite pleased with these socks, and I would be very happy to do another pair of DK socks again, which mine finished in 2 days.
Have we not started another pair?
We have, but they're not
Oh,
DK.
yeah.
They are not DK.
Well,
and they're taking ages as well. So
yeah.
morale has dipped slightly upon learning how long a non-DK sock is going to take me.
That'll be coming up in works in progress.
Yeah.
Right. Is that what we're going on to next then? Shall we?
That
talk
is
about
what we're
those?
going on to next.
So, moving on to works in progress. Will I go first?
Okay.
Okay. We are both making socks. As Jacqueline said, her sock is in a fingering weight.
Yes.
My one is DK, handspun, toe up, my favourite, and Addi Turbo's 3.25. Once again, this is a chain-plied yarn, and how did I do this? I made a braid, I dyed a braid, split it in half, carded one half, and spun the other half. No, I couldn't have done it like that. I think I actually carded it. I did. I carded it into, sorry, old age. I carded it into Rolex and spun it and tried to keep the colour changes going as I was spinning, and then I chain plied it. For some reason I've also put in some sparkle. It's not Angelina, I think it's
Stellina.
Stellina.
Yeah.
Probably rainbow stellina because I have quite a lot. So that is the second sock on the go. Nice and fast.
Oh, you finished your first sock.
I finished the first sock, but I don't know where I've put it.
Right.
Anyway, I finished the first sock, so I'm well on my way on the second.
Well, I feel
Right.
like a total underachiever because this is my sock. It's what can best be described as camouflage green. What can you really say about this? I started off, I don't know if you can see that, I started off doing a 3x1 rib, and I thought, wouldn't this be great to do the whole sock as ribs? And then it took me about half a day to do 20 rows. So then I thought to myself, you know, ever adaptable, let's just do the vanilla for the rest of it. So I've just completed the heel by myself.
Almost entirely by yourself.
Pretty much by myself. There were a few mistakes and it has already been ripped down once, but this sock is definitely a survivor. I'm on, what am I on? The foot bit of the sock, and I'm using, these are, what was it, Addi Sock Wonder?
Yes, Addi Sock Wonder.
Addi Sock Wonder 10-inch, and they are 2.5 millimeters. The yarn I'm using, oh there's my stitch markers every 10 rows, so I just don't get confused. The yarn I'm using is my own hand spun. It's made up of black tussle silk, about 3 different shades of green merino, some green bamboo, some green silk, and I think that was it. None of it is superwash, so it'll be exciting to see how that turns out. I mean, you can see some differentiation in the stitches, barely, but it would be great for any sort of camouflage scenario where you need your feet to blend in with the grass. You know, while you're out and about. So that's my first one. This is the first sock, which has already taken about 4 days. It's soul-destroyingly slow at this point. But I must forge on ahead and actually complete the second one.
But you got on faster when you were using your circulars.
Do you think?
Your Addi
The Sock Wonder.
Sock Wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I started this off with, what were they? 2.59 inch circulars, and I really, really dislike the way it's left.
No.
You can clearly see a sort of rib thing down there. I don't like that. That's where it joins up.
That was when you were using the 2 circular needles.
Mm-hmm.
The 6, can't remember what size they were.
Well, they were 2.5, but they were
They're
9
2.5.
inches.
Yes, but you used 2 of them. But you are quicker. The only way I could get the Addi Sock Wonder to work was if I turned the work inside out. I mean, I know that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But to me that was easier, but it still wasn't fast enough.
And I will just show you my project bag. This was from an Etsy shop called Clara Rose Crafts. I have her card. And she does absolutely wonderful project bags. This is, I think this one was called Spells and Charms. It's a Harry Potter one. And I mean, this cord is substantial. It's great. And it has little charms like the dragon and the broom, castle and the scarf, and the details on it are phenomenally good. These little charms at the front, such as an elixir of life, which is full of glitter, and the words on here are things like Expelliarmus, Reparo, Accio, you know, various Harry Potter things, and I'm so pleased with this bag. It's very well made, so I would thoroughly recommend her. I'll link her Etsy shop below. What's your sock in?
My bag is in this one, full of little sheeps, and this is the Woolly Tango. Lovely bag. She's based in Wales, and this is my second bag. I have another one which is larger for larger projects, but I love this. It sits nice and flat on the ground, so you leave your yarn in and it comes out no bother at all while you're knitting. Brilliant bag.
Very good.
Right.
So I've only got one more work in progress, and it is the second Hitchhiker shawl by Martina Behm, and this is it again. Camouflage purposes, this is perfect. Before you know it, I'll have an entire knitted outfit and could blend into any jungle anywhere on the earth.
You'll be out on manoeuvres up the pendulums.
Let's not contemplate that at all. I think the detail in this is probably quite difficult to see. I started off, well, I spun this myself. This nondescript ball of wool is made from black bamboo, tussa silk, merino, I think there's some sari silk in there. It's all non-superwash, and there's green tweed also in there. And my mum told me it would be utterly unloved by everybody because it was so dull, verging on muted, and boring.
You were just looking for an excuse to use it, so I
wasn't.
I'll encourage you.
I was not. You said, nobody will want that wool. Nobody will want it.
That's not what I said.
That's exactly how you sounded in my head.
Oh, maybe I did.
You did.
Yeah.
I think the main complaint, this is the first tweed that I had done, and the main complaint was you can hardly see the tweedy bits against the colour of the wool. I mean, you can see them vaguely now, but it is all very nondescript.
Well, that's why I felt you couldn't really call it tweed, because you couldn't see the tweed.
You can if you look closely.
Yes, but who's going to pick it up? You.
You know, if I'm wearing this out and about and anyone says, "Oh, I like your scarf," I will invite them to look closer and point out the tweed. That's what I'll do. Just you see if I don't. Just you wait. So that's that. It's this is really easy to do, and it'll hardly take me any time at all. Cut to me 3 weeks later, no progress made. But yeah, looking forward to finishing this, and it feels a lot thicker than my last one. So that should be good in the cold weather, which it's still unseasonably warm just now, but can't wait for that. And that lives in Harry Potter! It's a Ravenclaw Harry Potter bag. It was made by Amelia X Joy on Etsy. I will link her shop below. This is another well-made bag, plain inside. I think it's either cotton or calico, and it's quite big. It's meant to be a sock wedge bag. Its base is that, so it'll sit on the floor easily. But it can hold quite a lot, and there's its little Horcrux charm. I don't know if you can see that. Horcrux. So I'm very pleased with that, and I would thoroughly recommend her Etsy shop too. So what have you got?
What I have as unfinished object is I'm working on, it's called, I don't know if you'll see the colour of that, it's called the Poochie Keen dog sweater, and now I did write down the name of the person that the pattern it is. It's Beth Aidala, and it's a lovely pattern. It's all done in the round, so you start off with the rib. It's worsted weight, and size 4mm needles go on to 4.5, although I could be wrong, it might be 4.5 to start and 5mm for the main body. It's a brilliant pattern, but I found that I've done the middle size, which is for an 18-inch chest dog, which would be fine, but my little dog, he's a Chinese crested, and he is rectangle shaped, so which is the breed, so he has quite a broad chest, and I found that the chest width in the pattern wasn't quite sufficient, so I've made a small adaptation to the pattern to account for that. But it's a brilliant pattern. I've done it before, and he's enjoyed his last sweater, wears it in winter time. Unfortunately, he is allergic to wool, so this yarn that I've spun up, I don't know if you can see it very well, it's a mixture of silk, bamboo, bio-nylon, and I've had that made up and blended at one of our Fibre suppliers. So it feels absolutely lovely. It's warm, and I think it'll be quite hard wearing.
Yeah.
So we'll give this a try. Hopefully I'll have progressed further next time. This is the chest part. It's a fascinating pattern to do, and I think it's, if you like knitting in the round, it's easy peasy. And then it goes on to the back, and even the little leg holes are done in the round when you do the cuffs. So this will be a good one to do just for TV watching, anything like that.
And it feels so silky.
It's soft, it's lovely and soft, so you'll have no problems wearing that.
Yeah. And your project bag.
And this is my second project bag. I'll put it back here. Also by Woolly Tangle, and I love it. Same idea as the other one, with the base that you put on the floor and it just sits there while you knit.
Yeah, yours has got a strap.
Yes, carry handle all over the place, but you can take that off. It's a little, I think it's called lobster claw.
It's a lobster claw.
Yes, so that's a brilliant bag. Love that one. My next, oh yes, this is a tale of woe.
I really shouldn't laugh, but
I know you're not showing much sympathy here,
especially after the whole sock episode where you showed me zero sympathy and said, "Oh, you can't do socks. You can't do socks. It's beyond your capabilities." Well, look who's laughing.
Yes, but you had somebody to show you how to do it.
Yes, crazy sock lady.
Right. I'm not going to argue.
No comment.
Anyway, on the first
On our
Henspeckle,
first episode.
our one and only Henspeckle podcast, I showed you a cardigan I was making with my handspun bulky yarn. this one to be exact.
I'm so sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
This one, which is one of this one also, and another one, because this was the cardigan.
Oh wait, you seem to have missed 2 more balls. What's this?
No, actually,
no.
3 more balls.
3. How many have you got in total? About 80 million.
So it's 7, I think. Yes. Almost a whole cardigan completed. I had done the body. I was halfway down the right sleeve. And then I thought, I don't like this fabric. It's too stiff and I just don't like it. It's not drapey. And the thing is, I had done a tension swatch and done that because I was using my Anne Budd book to calculate the quantities and measurements and all the rest of it, but I just didn't like it. So I thought, right, what do I do? Well, the decision was made when I realised I was running out of yarn anyway. So just unravelled the whole lot. So now I've actually started. It's not easy to see because this is as much as I've done. It's the same yarn, but a size 7mm needle. The ones that I used before on the other garment were 6mm. 7mm has made all the difference. And again, Addi Turbo. The one that I'm doing is the Sunday cardigan by PetiteKnit, and you start at the neck, and it's the one with the ribbed yoke, and it's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels so much better already that it's not. It was almost like cardboard, I have to admit, the last one. So I'm quite happy about this one. So hopefully I'll make better progress, and we'll see how far I get by the next podcast.
But then didn't you also order more fibre to make?
I did.
And it was a slightly different colour.
Yes, it was. It was quite different. This is called, is it Lapse?
Yes.
It's a blend of fibres that the fibre supplier has, and he blends them all together. And it's perfectly good wool. It's lovely, but you never know quite what you're going to get if you reorder. So the reordered one bag that I ordered was actually much darker.
Yeah.
So, but I'll spin it anyway, and it might make a hat for my son, or I don't know what. Something.
Could be anything.
Could be anything. There's plenty of it. So that's that. It's in my, I don't know.
Emma Ball.
This is an, oh.
Tells you there.
Oh, does it say that? Oh, Emma Ball.
Uh-huh.
Jacqueline got me this. Was it for my birthday or Christmas?
I think it was for your last birthday.
Was it my last birthday? And it's lovely. It's a lovely, spacious bag. Well, it's got 7 big balls of wool in it. And it's all the little sheep with their wee jumpers.
Sheep and woolly jumpers.
Sheep and woolly jumpers. Lovely. So that's a lovely project on the go. That's all I have at the minute. I have no more works in progress.
But we do have things that we've spun, don't we? So first of all, this one, I have to say I'm very, very pleased with this, if I do say so myself. I love the colours. It's showing up, I don't know, is that accurate, would you say?
I think that is quite accurate. Yes, it's a lovely teal, greeny blue.
Yes, it's made from non-superwash merino, bamboo, and there's a little bit of sparkle that you can't really see properly. It's from trilobal nylon, which is a rainbow coloured nylon, and we have a lot of that.
That's the one I was talking about. Is it the
for
stellina?
some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just liked it.
I like it as well. And this one is fingering weight, and if I look, it's 125 grams and 529 yards, which I think is quite good. And I don't know whether to put that in the shop or just keep it myself.
You can't keep everything.
These decisions. So what's your first one?
My first one. Last time I said I was going to do dyeing because the weather was cooler, and I did some dyeing. I was using up dyes that we had left over from quite a few months ago, before it got too warm, and so I've really no idea what the actual colours are. I just know they're either orange or blue or green. So the first one I did is a very large hank, and this is the colours. I wanted to go for an autumny sort of colour, and I think it's more or less, as we're coming in, we will be going into autumn, we will get this sort of coloration. So this is, it's English wool. It's all English wool, probably a mixture of various kinds, but it's lovely. It's really nice and soft. It's a huge hank, and this is the sort of colourway through. All bright parts and greens and blues, but mostly the oranges and browns and some black. So once again, I don't know if I want to keep it or put it in the shop.
What were you just saying to me? You can't keep everything.
But I really like it.
Well, I really like a lot of mine, but I'm constantly being told, no, you can't keep that, you can't keep that.
I know, but this is the problem. I do like everything. And this is a double knitting weight. It is a large hank. It's 210 grams and 450 odd yards. So that's quite a big one. And
it's your colours. You like those colours.
I love those colours. I really want to keep it.
My second one is, it looks kind of muted here. Well, I mean, it is pastel. And it's made of merino, soybean fibre and bamboo. It's sport weight. This is quite a large hank as well. It's about 660 yards, I think, and it's 175 grams. It's, did I say it's sport weight? I think I did.
I think it looks like sport weight, yeah.
I think it's lovely.
It is nice.
And I would very much like to make myself something with it.
No, you can't keep everything.
But I could.
Well, you could, but you've not.
Okay.
Because we're running out of space.
We are running out of space.
In our personal stash. We really are running out of space. On the day where I dyed the previous hank, I also dyed 3 other hanks.
Oh, they're nice.
They are nice. The thing about this is we got a mystery box from one of the fibre suppliers, and you had no idea what this mystery box was. It was all white wool, there was vegetable fibre, I think there was some silk maybe mixed in as well.
Also bamboo.
And bamboo. So we had a massive blending episode with the drum carder, and we blended it up and spun it up into hanks. So that was my project for the day that I did the dyeing. This one in particular is absolutely gorgeous. It's super fine merino. It's so soft. I really want to keep it.
No, no, you can't keep it.
But it's beautiful. Shades of purple, pink,
magenta,
grey. Oh, it's just lovely, and it's so soft. I wish we had touch screen, you know, where people could feel how soft that is. It's gorgeous.
People might be uncomfortable.
They might, yes. It's super fine merino, and it's spun to a light DK. 107 grams. That's plenty to make something nice.
For somebody else, not you.
Right. Fair. This is also part of the same dye batch, and strangely enough, if you could hold that one for me, you can see the difference between the superfine merino and the wool blend in the one below, how differently they've taken the dye up. Superfine merino is not machine washable, but it has taken the dye quite strongly, but this one is even stronger. It has really taken the colour. And this one is wool, but it could be a blend of English wools and possibly even a vegetable fibre like rose fibre
Or milk fibre.
or milk
nettle.
fibre, nettle, anything, or pineapple. Pineapple is a new one, and I believe it's lovely. So this is I don't think I've said what this one is. It looks like DK, and it's 128 grams and 272 yards, and I would really like to keep this too, but I know what will be said.
I don't think I need to say it at this point.
No. If
You
you
do
could
not
hold
need to
that
say
one for me.
it.
This one, in the same dye bath, has taken yarn differently again. Sort of in between the two, the superfine and the English wool one, but also there's something in this blend that didn't take dye at all. Is it nylon or acrylic that won't take dye? I think it's acrylic.
Can't remember.
So anyway, it's something. It's not cotton. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not cotton. So, but it's lovely and soft. Yes. So that's another one which I would like to keep.
You're not keeping it.
I know what's going to be said. Anyway,
No to keeping it.
that was the results of my dyeing episode on that occasion.
And on that note, we have done a short video
Oh yes.
of you dyeing the aforementioned hanks of wool, and I will try to insert that, but if I'm unsuccessful, we'll just forget this conversation happened. Wipe it from everyone's memory, if you please.
It wasn't the most professionally filmed dyeing episode.
In this video, we're dyeing a 210 gram skein of English wool, mainly consisting of blue-faced Leicester. It'll eventually be split into 2 skeins when it's dry. We're using leftover dye solution from previous dye sessions, and these colours include golden yellow, teal, red, and a mixture of blue and black. We found that interesting colours were emerging where the dyes overlapped and split. The skein had initially been soaked for a few hours in a bath of tap water and 1 cup of vinegar, because we wanted the dyes to strike quite quickly without blending too much. We tried to apply the dyes in a random, dare I say, haphazard manner, to avoid being too stripy. I should also point out that the utensils and catering pan are only ever used for dyeing and not food preparation, because that really would not be good. After simmering for 15 minutes, the water was clear and happily the dye had soaked through to the base layer of the yarn, so no need to turn the skein over. We're happy with the result. The dry skeins are gorgeous and they'll be available soon in our next shop update.
I did another dyeing. I don't know if I mentioned the last time this wonderful mohair fibre that I got from a lady in Wales, from her
New Forest mohairs?
Was it New? No, it wasn't New Forest mohair. This was the Welsh one. The Welsh.
Do not know.
The Welsh girl. I couldn't even begin to try and say the name of the farm, but they're absolutely gorgeous. The little locks were beautiful. So this was dyed with the same combination of dyes as the hanks, and it has just made the most glorious bundle, which I'm going to card with probably fine merino. The plan being to do the Love Note sweater. That's another story about the mohair singles.
But as someone who hasn't really worked with a lot of luxury fibres, I think maybe I should use it. I could blend it for you and spin it for myself.
I really don't think so.
Since I don't have any mohair.
It was supposed to be for me anyway, the Love Note sweater, but there was a problem. I think, did I show the green and blue
You
dyed
did,
one?
yes.
Yes, that had blended and I'd spun up into a singles. As the Love Note sweater says a light fingering held with one strand of mohair, and it caused bias. Yeah, the knitting was definitely squint. So, however, I did see a YouTube video. Oh, I can't remember what the name of it was. I should have researched this first. I'll look it up and put it in the comment, the part
Right.
below.
Who'll do that?
The show notes. Well, somebody will do that. And they had a fabulous video that showed you how to cope with biasing singles yarn. So it's a bit of a process, so I'll give it a try and let you know how I get on with it.
I think this conversation has been full of bias towards mohair.
Yes, possibly.
Okay.
In this video I'm dyeing mohair locks I bought from a farm in Wales, and details will be in the show notes. I soaked the locks overnight in tap water and 1 cup of vinegar in my 2.5 inch deep catering pan. I decided to use black, magenta and purple acid dyes left over from a previous dyeing session, and made sure that the dye soaked through. After steaming for 15 minutes, the water was clear and the mohair was left to cool down before rinsing. For my first time dyeing mohair, I'm very pleased with the results and would definitely do it again.
So my last completed skein of yarn is this extremely dark little number that you probably can't see very well. It is black bamboo, tussa silk, black merino, sari silk and trilobal nylon for some sparkle. I'm not sure if you'll be able to pick any of that up, but it's absolutely lovely.
It's beautiful.
I blended this myself. Oh, there you can see it now. I blended this myself and decided I might have been going to knit something with it, but a conscience said otherwise, and that I wasn't to do that.
Yeah.
My own conscience, not this.
No, the
Jiminy
conscience
Cricket
in the chair next to you said.
So that will be going up on the shop at some point. And this one is fingering weight, and it's 500 yards and 135 grams. I mean, I have to say, my spinning is quite consistent now.
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
But you can't spin thick.
I know.
You can't spin thick yarn.
Honestly, I tried to do a DK yarn for my vanilla DK socks, and it's under DK.
Yeah. We actually have yarn gauge cards, and I use mine all the time, and I can do thick or thin.
I use mine all the time, and I can do,
You do not.
thin and thin.
And thinner.
Yeah. It's not going well. And I definitely do use the yarn gauge sometimes.
Do you? Because I don't think I've ever seen it on your table.
Regularly. I use it regularly. You just don't happen to be anywhere in the vicinity. So, gifts to ourselves?
Yep.
We have gifts to ourselves. I bought quite a lot of fibre, and I won't bore you with all of this, but one of our wool suppliers, well, our fibre suppliers, has started doing rolags, and I will show you. These are absolutely lovely.
That's gorgeous.
Absolutely lovely. This one has silk in it. It's sort of turquoisey blue, light blues, and I bought 100 grams of that with the intention of using it for myself for socks, and I thought I'd just say that while no one can contradict me. I also bought this colour, and I think it'll go quite nicely as maybe contrasting heels, toes and cuffs, and then also the reverse, so I'll do a main sock part in this and use the lighter one as contrasting heels, toes and cuffs. So looking forward to that. You got some as well.
I did.
So don't be judgy.
I can't be judgmental, no, because I did. I couldn't resist. The colours were beautiful.
I don't know where yours are.
I do.
Oh.
They are in a very large bag, sack actually,
A wool sack.
out in the garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Also, what else did we get? The project bags we are waiting for, which haven't arrived yet. And I bought a couple of books. I got a couple of books. This is Knit Shawls and Wraps by Greene. And you can see from the post-its there are several that I would very much like to knit. The premise of this book is they're quick patterns and you're supposed to be able to do them in about a week, no matter how much you put into it, although I find that a bit difficult to believe, but we'll see. And they're absolutely lovely. I don't think I can decide which one I want to do first, but I certainly have a selection. And my second book, what's this? 52 weeks of socks. Many socks flagged for future production. I think basically everyone and their mother has heard of this. It's by Laine Publishing. And my mother has not heard of this.
I had heard of it before.
Yeah. There are tons and tons in here, although I think these are going to have to wait for a while until I've got a few more pairs of vanilla socks under my belt, and especially ribbed socks, which are going to take at least a month to do.
And you also need to try and do heels and toes on your own.
I've managed that last heel.
Yes, you did.
That nobody believes you.
I'm not saying anything else.
Okay,
Right.
let's see what you've got then.
I also bought some books. Well, two. And it's this one by Pam Allen. I was looking for maybe simple, plain patterns that I can rattle up quickly. It's absolutely beautiful, the patterns. The one that I like just now, see if I can, I don't like bending pages, but I will do. This one is called Birch, and it's lovely. It seems quite simple. I've done colour work in the past, and I really want to do this one. The other one that I like, thank you to my gracious assistant on here, is a very roomy sweater. I'll put the details of the book down below and you can probably look for yourself. And I have to say that the selection of sizes in Pam Allen's book is amazing, wonderful. There's something for everybody. The other one is also a Pam Allen book, this one, and I'll just show you this little dress on the back. Not that I would wear a dress, certainly not that shape, but the patterns in it are also absolutely gorgeous, and I think you could adapt to make them however you like. This one I love. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's very nice.
With the texture down the front. The thing about this book is it's completely patterns devoted to, oh, wait till I see if I can find the name, a specific type of yarn. Oh, it's Quince & Co. Owl. I don't know if anybody's heard of that. It's a worsted yarn, but it's very lightweight, fluffy, well, not fluffy, but light, and you use 5 or 6 millimeter needles, so it has good drape, and because it's so light you'll get a warmth, I think, from it too. So that's one that I like, and actually I like all of the patterns, but you have to draw the line somewhere at what you knit. And the other one that I would really like to do is this one. Is that sure?
Yes.
Yep. So I would recommend those two books to anybody that loves knitting and different ideas, texture or colour work, and I'm looking forward to getting on with something out there.
Once we've finished the socks.
Yeah, once we've finished the socks. I'm certainly not doing 52 weeks of socks.
Well, maybe not this year.
No.
Once I gain some experience, we'll be doing socks.
All right. Oh, well, if you say so.
Okay. And that brings us to our last segment, what we've been watching and reading. Will we do reading?
Yes, because I don't read.
Don't tell people that. Nobody needs to know.
I don't. I like audio books and just programs.
Okay. Well, mine will be very quick because I've only been reading one book. I finished Harley Merlin. I liked it. And then I discovered there are 18,000 sequels to Harley Merlin. So I think I will put that aside and read it another time. In the meantime, I'm reading Getting Wild by Jen Stark. It's, I don't know if you say urban fantasy or something along that line. It's part of her Immortal Vegas series, and the main character is a treasure hunter, and she has magic capabilities, but it's tarot based magic, so she discovers things like she's out doing her thing and then quickly reads the tarot deck and it tells her what to do. So that's actually quite good, and Jen Stark as a writer is funny. I like her. So that's that. That's all I've got. What about you?
We're still listening to, is it Winter World?
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming along quite nicely, twists and turns. So I don't want to give too much away about that, but it's a good read on YouTube. It's a YouTube audiobook.
By?
I can't remember.
Is it H.E. Riddle or H.E. Riddle? I think it's H.E. Riddle.
There's no point in asking me who wrote this or who did that, you know.
Okay.
What I'm watching is National Geographic Channel, and it's a series called Ultimate Supercars, about new developments in how the companies are upgrading their image for cars. The first one was Aston Martin, which you'll remember as the James Bond car, and it's the new Aston Martin. I don't remember the name of it. I'm not good with names, but I just like watching how they make these models, how from concept to the finished product. And what I didn't know was they actually make a clay model, a full-sized clay model of the actual car once the conceptual artist has done his bit. So it's absolutely fascinating. The second one was Ferrari and their new supercar, and of course supercars, super money, you have to be super rich.
Yeah. No.
Apart from that, they go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It would leave me behind at the start. I'd be sitting on the road. So the one that I'm on just now is the Bentley, and when you think about Bentley, you know, you think about big stately cars, lovely. Oh no, Bentley can do the speed thing as well. So I can't wait to see what the finished product will be for the Bentley, but it certainly looks gorgeous.
Oh, see, that just makes you want to have those cars.
Well, not me really. I like to look at them, but I wouldn't want one. Because I wouldn't be able to give it the attention it deserves.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, I just like going at a certain pace and going from A to B, and that's it.
So I have been watching, I finished Van Helsing. I'm not sure about that really. I mean, throughout the whole second, third and fourth season, it's kind of drummed into you that Van Helsings are made for sacrifice. So throughout that you're expecting sacrifice. And there was. And I don't know, I think it could have ended a bit earlier. I mean, I was happy it had a conclusion. And I don't really know what to say about it. Apart from that, it was a bit of a letdown.
I think I watched some of it, but I gave it up pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's not my sort of thing.
There were a couple of good characters in it, and they were the moral compass of it. And when one of them deviated from what was clearly the path of good, you thought, no, just no. So that annoyed me. A few of the characters annoyed me. Some needless death annoyed me. But apart from that, it was great.
I think you're watching the wrong sorts of things.
I'm not, because now I'm watching Downton Abbey. I've never seen it before, and I know I am incredibly late to this party. In fact, the party's actually over. It's on Netflix just now, and I'm on season 5.
Are you? I've got to season 5 already.
Yeah, it's only got like 10 episodes per season, I think.
Yeah, but you didn't start it that long ago. You've been binging.
But it's so easy to do when you're spinning or knitting and you're just not paying attention. But I really like that, and I think Maggie Smith steals absolutely every scene that she's in. She's so
brilliant in anything.
So good. And I like her interaction. She plays Lady Violet. I like her interaction with her cousin Isabel, who's sort of new to Downton, and Isabel's son is the heir apparent. Well, I can't give you any spoilers. Is the heir apparent, and Lady Violet didn't like that at first, but you can see that their relationship has developed now, and they're quite good friends, even though there's some sniping going on, and she's so sarcastic, but it's funny and I like it. And yesterday I watched Cruella on Disney Plus, starring Emma Stone, and she was so good. Good as Cruella. I think you should watch that.
It's not my sort of thing, I don't think.
But it's good.
Does it have supercars in it?
Not really, no.
No.
I think it was meant to be in the 70s. Based in the 70s.
I think there were supercars then.
Okay. So, is that everything?
I think that's everything. Nothing much has been going on here.
No.
Weather's turning a wee bit cooler, which was nice.
You know you're British when you discuss the weather in a podcast, which everybody, of course, wants to hear.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Some people might be sitting sweltering with fans on, with glorious sunshine outside. Not us.
No, not us. This is Scotland.
I mean, it has been hot. I mean, Scotland can be very, very warm at times, but along with that, usually in June, somehow July misses out, but June and August you get thunderstorms. I don't know why, but I don't know, it's not been very Augusty, I have to say. It's not really been hot.
Well,
not really.
I suppose not.
No. Anyway, take what we get.
Yeah.
And dress accordingly.
Yes. And we have knitted goods to wear.
Yes.
Should the occasion arise.
You really don't want to see what I'm looking at the minute on the other side of the room. the stash cupboard.
Don't tell people. No.
We have much fibre to be knitting for preparation for the cold weather. So
maybe one day we'll show you that, but today is definitely not that day.
No.
So that's us, and thank you very much for joining us. If you watched the first one, thank you for returning. We should have said this at the start.
Yes, we should have. And if anybody has any comments or suggestions or questions, then please leave them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you and what you're making.
If you even just want to say hello, that's okay. Yeah. We'll answer. Yeah, tell us what you're making, and if you've got anything that perhaps a beginner knitter could do successfully without too much trouble. Especially on sport weight yarn. Because she can't spin DK.
No.
But yes, we would love to hear from you, so feel free to drop a comment below, and I'll try and get all the links updated, the details updated, because someone can't do that.
No. I'm not a technophobe, so.
You are a technophobe.
I'm not.
A technophobe.
What's a technophobe?
Someone that can't do technology.
I thought a technophobe was somebody that can do.
Is that not a technophile?
Oh, maybe, right. Well.
So thank you for joining us for this interesting fact and the many others you've found today. I'm sure you'll be back for episode 3.
I hope so anyway. I hope you'll join us for episode 3.
Yes, I do hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Keep safe and healthy.
Why was I going to say you too? Yes, you keep safe too.
Thank you, and you.
Yes, keep safe. We hope to see you for the next one.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Is it recording?
Yes.
Oh my god.